Hello, I'm Chris, this is Gross Models, and this is 30 Days Lost in Space. We're on day 13. This time we're not using the buzzery thing, although we will be using it later, so I haven't disassembled it, I've just tidied it up a little bit. So I'll put that to one side. We are today primarily working on programming. So we've got the board plugged in, I've got rid of the extra ribbon cable from it, so it's neater. I shall, as ever, be using my updated code so I can have the keypad sideways, because it just feels nicer and it fits better than everything else. Obviously you can still do it the way round that they show, but I'm doing it this way. So Alex will tell us what we're going to be doing today, and then we'll get on with the code side of things.
Incoming transmission, once again from Adventure Corp. This is Alex. You'll notice, real quick, I have changed up some of the code today before we begin. I have changed it back to the code we had 2 days ago, removed this stuff with the buzzer. That being said, we'll come back to the buzzer shortly. Because from what I remember, you guys have been setting up that security system. Today, it's going to be quite a bit of coding logic and setting that stuff up.
Right, back to the code. Now there's lots of new stuff in here. Once again, I've just copied it across to save having to actually type it all in, but I'm going to go through and try and explain it for my understanding as well as yours, what we're doing. We've started off with the include keypad, the same as normal. Because we're using the keypad, we need to include the library. We're setting up the constant for the rows and columns being 4 of each. Now we've got a new one in here. For pass length is 4. We're putting in a passcode, a password type thing. You've got to push 4 individual buttons for the password to be correct. And then we're setting the passcode, the password, to be 0000. Obviously you can set that to whatever you want, but built into the program here is a way of changing it. So yeah, right, we're setting it up so it's 1 2 3 ABC, same as it was before. And I've changed this as ever, so the columns are the rows and the columns are reversed back to where it is, so it's a way of turning the keypad around, as I explained a couple of days ago. Right, so we're setting up the keypad, custom keypad, make key map buttons, is again calling the buttons and labeling them to each thing depending on which number you press and which pin is detected and combinations of things. So right, the first of the new thing, we're setting an integer for unlock mode. So on that we're grabbing the character from the custom keypad get key. So again we're waiting till somebody pushes a key, and then we're getting that character, which will be the 1 2 3 ABC thing, and we're calling that custom key. Then we're printing on a new line, unlock mode, type password to continue. It's just, it could be anything you like, but obviously it's telling us what we're needing to do. Now all of this is going to be happening in the serial box over here, so that's why I've got that open. Then we're delaying for half a second, but yeah. Right, now new bit of code. We've got a for while loop going on, or a for loop and a while loop. Right, let's do the while one first. What that says, apart from that end bit, oh, if I don't want to move it. Right, what that says is, while whatever happens in here happens, carry on. Until whatever happens in here happens, then basically stay on this line. So the exclamation mark means not. It's a way of saying do the opposite or wait for the opposite. So what it's waiting is for a keypad to be pressed. So while there's not a keypad being pressed, just sit here and wait until one is. As it says, wait infinitely for input. It will just sit there until a button is pressed. Right, now, and if a button is pressed, then it starts doing things. The integer we're making here is an I, and we're setting that to be 0. And then we're checking to see if I is less than the pass length, which we know is 4. We just set that to be 4, but we could have just put 4 in there, but yeah. Then we're adding I to itself. Or actually, sorry, we're adding 1 to I. We're just adding +1, basically, to I every time it goes through that loop. So first time through, it will be 0. So 0 is indeed less than 4. So after that, will make it 1. Now, if password I, so a first time through will be 0, is not the custom key, print wrong password, and then print what you did put in. I don't know why we're doing that. I think it's just to sort of for debugging or whatever. But normally, obviously, I wouldn't necessarily print up what you pressed, although you pressed it, so you know you pressed it. But yeah, and then return. This is basically just feeding back out of the loop a -1, which is a wrong answer, basically. So if the password is not the custom key, say it's wrong, print what we did, and say 0, 1. If it is what we put in, if it is the custom key, say sort of else, then it's going to print a star, and then it will go back up to the for loop and basically run through it again until I is equal to the pass length, which is 4. So actually the 5th time through, in which case it will go down to here, because it's not doing that, because as soon as the button's pressed, it's 4, which is not less than pass length. It is equal to pass length, which is not the same as being less than. And then we're saying you've got it right, return a 0. So let's just run through that again for my own information and knowledge. So the first time through, it's 0. So pass length, it's less than, so we'll carry on. Waiting for the input. If I put in the correct input, which in this case is 0 as a number, then it is. So it's going to go down there, it's going to print a star, then it's going to go back up there where I is now 1, which is still less than. So it'll wait for the input again. If you get it right, it prints another star, it goes back again when that's 2. Yeah, okay, I understand how that works. If at any time you get it wrong, then it will tell you got it wrong and return a 0, 1. Yep, right, that's that. Now the next bit is the setup. So we only run this was all just a pre-program that we can call at any time, and it will activate that. This is the setup. So again, we're starting the serial monitor so we can see what we're doing. We're printing text which just says press the star to get a new password, or a hash to access the system. It could obviously be anything, but right, that's just what they've chosen to type in. So it tells you, gives you some instructions on the serial monitor. Right, then the loop. We're getting a button. If we get the star, then we need to go to unlock mode, which is what we had at the top there. And then we've got the access, which we set up somewhere. Did we set up an access? You know, we talked about it in the video, but okay, let's find out. Oh, there we go. We're setting access to be the unlock mode. There we go. And then if access is less than 0, so depending on what we get back from that, if it's correct, then it's 0. It's not less than 0. So we'll be printing welcome authorized user, enter new password. If it's less than 0, as in if they've got the password wrong, then we'll put up access denied, cannot change password without the old default. Okay, so then if we get it correct and want to change the password, which is why we push the star button, we're in this whole section. We're basically going through the pass length thing again, but waiting for input, and then making each version the new password. So again, we're going through there 4 times, and we'll print password successfully changed, assuming you get push 4 buttons. Right, then if we push the hash key to access the system, we're setting the access to unlock mode again, but we need to access it before we can access the system. So we need to put in the passcode, basically. And if it returns the error, we get access denied. If it doesn't return the error, then it must be okay. So we're saying, welcome authorized user. You may now begin using the system. So this is the code that I've grabbed directly off them. So if I verify that, it should be okay, unless there's any typos that are crept in. I don't see any. So let me go to the bench view, where you've got the serial monitor there. Actually, let me make a new scene where the serial monitor is bigger so you can see it. Right, that should work. So you can still see my hands down here, but you've got the entire serial monitor up the top there. So let me upload the code to the Arduino, which I don't think I'd already done. So that's that there, little flashy lights, and there we go, settled down to the solid power light and the LED on board come on. So it should be this way round. It says on there, press start to access new password or hash to exit the system. This one's hash, so I'll push that one. Unlock mode, type password to continue, which is 0000. So I'll push that. It comes up with a star, a star, a star, and if I get it wrong password, I pressed 8, access denied, which is fair enough, that's okay. So that's unlock mode, so let's do it right this time. There we go. Welcome, you may now begin using the system. Exactly as intended. Nothing happens until I do that. It's only these two buttons that are being looked for. So let's try that one. Unlock mode, password to continue. Let's put in 0000. Please enter a new password. Let's put in ABCD. So we've got to go down the side there. A, B, C, and D. Password successfully changed. So if I try and access the system, if I put in the old one, access denied. If I put in the new one, it works. The one thing I don't know is if I unplug or update, I don't think this remembers it. I think it's going to zero it back again. So what I'm going to do is actually send through that code again. So I'm pretty sure now the code will go back to 0000 because we've overwritten it with the new program, which had at the top, call it 0000. So let's try that again. Let's access the system. Let's put in A, access denied. There we go. So access the system. Yep, you may now begin using the system. So what I'm going to do, actually I need to go to that one. I'm going to change the code from 0000 to ABCD as a test to make sure. Oh, I did that wrong. Let's can we undo? Is there an undo button? There is. A, B, C, and D. Right, this is a test for myself, not part of the course, just to make sure I understand how things work. So if I now send that to the system, it hasn't got any problems coming up. It's uploading. No, there is an error. What error have we got there? Protocol expected response something, but it seems to be working as well. So let's try 0 and access denied. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, D. Authorized user. Yes, I don't know what error I got there. Protocol error. But there we go. Right, so that works. One other thing I do want to change on here is if I was to make the password length longer. Make it 5, then obviously in there I need to define some more. So let's call it 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Let's make it 5, shall we? There's a comma there. Comma 5. No, not the right key. 5. Okay, I think I've now reprogrammed that to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. Uploading. It's verified it okay. It's uploading it. Little flashy lights going on. That should come on again. There we go. Welcome, authorized user. You may now begin using the system. So let me go back to my new scene so you can read it properly. If I push the wrong button, if I try and access the system and get the password wrong, I'll put in 5, that's wrong. Let's try again. If I put in 1, 2, 3, 4, access denied. That's because that's not 4, that's A. Right, let's try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, there you go. So you could have, in theory, an infinitely long password programmed into it, and it would work as intended. So that's good. I'm happy with that. I've understood the coding enough to be able to manipulate it and do it. I still don't think I'd be able to write it myself from scratch because it's, yeah, but that's practice. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I'll leave Alex to sign out, and I shall see you tomorrow for more more security and more things. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Before I go, tomorrow we will be setting this up with a little bit of extra logic, where we are going to be mapping the keypad here along with the buzzer to have a little bit more taptic feedback and give error tones and etc., which will be really kind of neat. But if you want, I have a little fun side thing you can do. If you really want to try to challenge yourself or etc., there is a major flaw with this security system that I've realized after writing this code is actually not too hard even for a human to try to get and crack. If you want to find out and see what that, if you think you know what it is, feel free to go ahead and try it. But a lot of it has to do with the fact that when you're going through, one is the unlimited attempts factor, and two, the fact that it will tell you that it has to do with the fact that it tells you when you're wrong. So when you type it in, if you type in the first 3 correct and type in the last one wrong, you got about a 1 in 16 chance, and just try it a few times, you can get in eventually. So with a good brute force algorithm, one might be able to get in. So if you want to really challenge yourself, you can try writing some sort of algorithm to try to break in. It would not be too difficult. But for now, it's much better security than what was there. So with that being said, I'm going to give you guys a send-off. This has been Alex. Once again, I'm out.